It looks like they've made this fight. This fight seems like it's going to actually happen. Terence Bud Crawford has got his wish to fight Canelo Alvarez. Now, from what I remember, this was never Terence Crawford's wish. This was the wish of all the pundits and reporters of boxing asking Canelo and asking Crawford, would they fight each other? Always asking Crawford, would you fight Canelo? Why would you fight Canelo? Crawford would be like, no, I wouldn't fight Canelo. Why wouldn't you fight Canelo? He's too big. He's way too big for me. He's way out of my weight class. After he then beats Errol Spence, he gets asked the question again. And he says, no, can't bother with Canelo. That's not the fight for me. He's too big. 2 or 3 interviews later, he's asked the question again. And he says yes. He would like to fight Canelo. As soon as he says yes, they roll with it, they run with it, and everybody's saying, oh, Canelo and Crawford. Crawford wants to fight Canelo. Oh, where? Canelo's always had the same energy. He doesn't really care for it. He doesn't really want it. It's not something that excites him. It's not something that drives him. Turkey tried to get in contact with him before about the fight. We all know what Turkey's about. He's about that money. He sends you the money. You go and talk to him because the money suits you. You want to have the fight or you want to do business with the Sheikh because he's got all the money in the world and he will make your dreams come true with the price requests or the pursed requests that you guys ask for. Canelo is not the same kind of character. Canelo is his own right in itself. He does not need anywhere near Turki al-Sheikh money to make him get a good purse. Whoever he fights, he gets upwards of 30 million. He could get in the ring with Boxwatch.Tv himself and still get 30 million. Obviously, Boxwatch would ask for at the very least 10 million because obviously you want to offset your damages with getting paid. So obviously you want to fight Boxwatch, you got to pay Boxwatch. You understand? I want 10 mil because I'm not Canelo, I want 10. I know Canelo's getting 30, 35 plus, I want 10. So Canelo would have to do whatever it takes to make that 10 happen. But the fact is he doesn't need the Sheikh. So with the Sheikh calling for him and him saying, nah, I don't really need to go and chat to the Sheikh. The Sheikh got a bit upset and was like, well, when Canelo fights, I'm going to put on an event at the same time. I'm going to put on an MMA fight at the same time. What he realized was he doesn't need you or your backing to make money. He doesn't need to fight on a different night to MMA because his money is separate from MMA. His audience is separate from the MMA audience. Some of them obviously combine and they share the same interest in boxing as they do in MMA, but most MMA fans are MMA fans, most boxing fans are boxing fans. And Canelo has a country of Mexico behind him most of the time when he fights. Plus, Europeans want to see his fights. Plus, the Americans want to see his fights. Therefore, he can guarantee you a good 600-700 pay-per-views bought anytime he goes out there. That's why DAZN paid him 350 mil for 10 fights because they knew they were going to get their money back. So, with that being said, the Sheikh got upset with him turning down the conversation and he started to spit some little bits of venom. And Canelo was like, yeah, you know what, you want to be upset? You can be upset. You're not rattling my cage. I don't really care for you. I don't really care for what you're saying either. And the Sheikh noticed that he couldn't get to Canelo. So then, after buying Ring Magazine, because Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy owned the Ring Magazine entity, the company, the magazine. Ring Magazine has obviously slowly but surely faded into the background due to the fact that paperback editions of any type of magazines are very, very rare in existence nowadays. Everything's on the computer. You still got the paperbacks, but everything's on the computer, so no one really goes and buys papers anymore, buys news, magazines, or anything like that. Literature bought in book form, in paper form. It's all on the internet. It's all on a computer. At the press of a few buttons, you have access to whatever you need to have access to, after you pay the fees that you need to pay if they are charging, and so on and so forth. Ring Magazine was fading, but Sheikh has come to revive it, and he's bought it from Oscar De La Hoya. So now he owns Ring Magazine, which also entails the Ring Magazine belt, which a lot of fighters, most fighters, want because they're trying to get to the top of the food chain of boxing. And when they get to the top, they then acquire this Ring Magazine belt to say that they are the best in their weight class, in their division, so on and so forth. The Ring Magazine is very much sought after, more so than WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO. So having the Ring title is very, very prestige. And now Turki Al-Sheikh owns that. And where he owns this, he put on this big event in the UK, in London, the other day. And he invited all the top boxers and all the boxers that he works with. He invited them all to this event. And while he invited them to this event, he made a few deals happen. And this apparently is one of the deals that he's actually made happen. Canelo went down there, took a bunch of pictures with the Sheikh. Crawford went down there, took a bunch of pictures with the Sheikh. But apparently behind the scenes, they were working out this deal. And their fight is a fight that's due to happen in September. Now, for me, this means that Crawford is going to have a fight in the mean and between time. And I saw some pictures on Instagram of a fighter with the Sheikh saying, Crawford, your next opponent is ready. For a second there, I thought it was Ajit Kabayel, but obviously it's not Ajit Kabayel because he's a heavyweight for one. But for me, Crawford is due to have a fight in between that because he hasn't fought in about 6 months. So with that being said, he's going to have another fight before September then, because if he doesn't have another fight before September, that would be a year that he's been out the ring before he's had this fight with Canelo. The activity is the best form of preparation. It's the best way to keep yourself match ready, as they say. So he's probably going to have a fight in between. And I'm not going to talk and break down what I think is going to happen in this fight until it's official and it's out there all over the news outlets and all over the internet. That's when I'll talk about it. But for now, I'm looking forward to see who Crawford's going to fight in the in-between time. And maybe Canelo's due to have a fight as well. He may have a fight in May. He likes to do the fight in May thing, but he hasn't fought since September himself. So he might do the May fight. And in that sense, Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May, the day in which Americans celebrate Mexican culture. Canelo might fight Cinco de Mayo. Crawford may fight same kind of time-ish. And then they have their fight in September if they're both successful. So it's something to look forward to. I want to see what's going to happen going forward with Crawford and the fight he's going to have next and where that fight's going to be in terms of the weight class. What weight class is he going to fight in? Is he going to stay at super welterweight, or is he going to go to middleweight, or is he going to go to super middleweight? Some people are saying that he should fight the new super middleweight champion, IBF champion, because Canelo got stripped of that belt. And it got handed to a guy called William Skull, who was the actual mandatory. So now he has the IBF belt. Some are saying that Crawford should go and fight him, beat him, and then take that belt to the Canelo fight and it will be undisputed. William Skull ain't no slouch, and he's a proper super middleweight, where Canelo has moved up to super middleweight. This guy has fought nowhere else but super middleweight since 2016. He's actually fought at light heavyweight as well. So this guy is a full-blown, full-on super middleweight. And I was thinking, you know what, Canelo, you better be careful with this guy because he ain't no slouch and he's a certified super middle and he's looking for someone to scalp to make himself a legitimate name in boxing. And Canelo, you could have been that guy. So I don't blame you for vacating that IBF belt. Him beating Crawford isn't going to give him the acclaim he really needs because Crawford is coming from welterweight where he is a super middleweight naturally. But Crawford going and beating him will give Crawford the mindset that he's definitely meant to be at this weight class, or he can now definitely do damage to Canelo. I don't think he's going to fight William Skull. I reckon William Skull is going to go and do what he needs to do to either keep the belt or fight the mandatories or whatever he needs to do. He's going to do that. But apparently this fight has been made. We'll see what's going on going forward. Crawford has made some tweets that's making me think that he's got something he wants to announce. So with that being said, let's hope that Crawford gets a fight before September to help him prepare. And I'm looking forward to who he fights next. And I'm looking forward to see who Canelo fights next. Will Canelo wait right down to September to have this fight with Crawford if that's the case? Or not? Will he have his Cinco de Mayo fight? Time will tell. And I will see you guys in the next video.